Hello, MotoAmerica fans. It's time for another episode of Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you may even learn something from this unlikely pair and their special guest. The mic is yours, Paul and Sean.
Hello, MotoAmerica fans, and welcome to this special video edition of Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. We are at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, and Paul Carruthers is on the other side. Carruthers, I'm Bice, and we have never had two guests on at the same time. But we figured now's the time to do it because two of our favorite people are with us. We've got Kyle Wyman on my right, and on Paul's left is Mr. Antonio Justicia Elias. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Toni Elias.
Justicia, yes.
So welcome to the podcast, you guys. Were you ever this close together on the track? I assume you had been. You've been.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No issues with each
Last
other?
year?
No
issues.
No issues. But really close to him.
See, this proves that you should always stay friends with guys because you never know when you need them.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
I'm never gonna hire anybody I haven't at least beaten once.
That's the way to do it, right? So Kyle, let's start with you. Let's talk about your situation because I mean, I thought you'd have a cast on the elbow. I thought it would be not mobile, and did you even have a cast on it?
No cast. 7 screws and a plate, and it's been 3 weeks to the day since I had the surgery. Over 3 weeks since the injury, but you don't get to start healing until they bolt you back together. So, no, I'm doing okay. I've got, this is past 90 now on range of motion, bending and almost straight. So, been pretty impressed with the work they did, and I feel okay. So.
I texted him. I told him at least he's riding a nice light and nimble bike.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, give Tony the super bike for the weekend. I'm going to race the bagger and try to finish the championship for the Harley Davidson guys. So we've got the points lead, and I've been sitting on the bike. I feel like we can get it done. So it should be good.
Have you done the math and all that? I'm sure you have.
Yeah. If Gillum wins, I got to be 6th. So he's actually 2nd in points. And I think I'll hopefully be able to still kind of fight for the podium. Maybe you never know how I feel. Maybe we can go for the win, but for sure the priority is just wrapping up the championship for those guys.
It's funny because I probably shouldn't say this, but I got a text from Tyler O'Hara, and he's asked if we could do COTA.
What, add it to the championship?
Yeah,
I don't think that's how it works. But hey, let's do it.
I told him if the check was big enough, we could maybe make it.
Hey, let's add 6 more. I don't care. Let's do it.
What was the decision to choose the King of the Baggers ride over the Superbike? Did it have anything to do with the comfort on the bike? Was it more about the fact that you're going to be able to win this championship?
I mean, it's for sure the idea that it's only 3 of our 9 rounds this year. So, on those weekends already, I really wanted to give those guys a lot of my attention because I have so many other races with Superbike. It's been a weird year running both, but even on the double duty weekends, I've been able to give both programs my 100%. But in this particular case, it was more important for me to just kind of finish that job. It's an incredible effort what they're putting together over there for us, and I want to be able to get that job done for them. So I think if I was to ride both bikes this weekend, I'd be jeopardizing both programs.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't the smartest thing for me to try to do both, and leaning towards the baggers and finishing that, which is our last round. We got 4 more rounds after this on super bikes, I think.
Yeah, 4 more.
So get this done. 3 more weeks until Brainerd, and we should be good for that. But yeah, it just made sense for us to focus there and also get a fresh perspective on our superbike. So
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it's kind of almost unbelievable that there's a guy like this sitting around.
Yeah.
The last time we were here, he had 3 podiums, and the last 3 times he rode a motorcycle or a race bike. I mean, that doesn't happen every day. That a guy like that sitting around, and probably made it easy for you to go, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a pretty logical decision. I think I didn't even call him till last week, so I I had a bunch of different kind of names and options, and I was just really stressed out over it, because it's my baby. I've been building the team for 10 years, and it's hard to kind of let it go. So, when it came down to it, there was other options that just weren't working out, and it was becoming more of a burden to fill the seat than it was just to ride it myself. And I knew that it wasn't right at that point, but then I thought of Toni, and I said, yeah, I would definitely put him on the bike and be happy to do it, and happy to give him, the opportunity to come back and have some fun and just have no pressure. And, he's wearing that Panera red Ducati shirt.
Yeah, I saw him
here.
He just took delivery of this like 45 seconds
Looks
ago.
good.
So, no, it's great. It's awesome.
How did it happen? We talked to you, and you kind of gave us some indication that you might be putting somebody on the bike. Did you know at the time it was going to be Toni, or were you thinking of talking to him? How did the process of getting in touch with Toni to make it happen go? Walk us through that.
I mean, I think I thought of him early on, and for me, the priority was like, a smaller budget team and everything. I don't need anybody who's going to try to just be a complete, Hail Mary hero on the thing. But I know Toni's going to be able to put the bike through its paces and also ride it at a high level, and not just ride it around just to say that we put somebody on the bike and it's an entry for us. So, from a sponsor perspective and from my perspective, just having somebody with his level of experience, and he's just a great guy too. Like, I'm happy to do it because he's a great guy. So it's,
Well, let's let him say something because he hasn't said any words.
Well, seriously,
You forget how to speak English? No.
I want to ask you.
No,
Toni.
I speak English every day since I wake up and I go to sleep.
I want to ask you, Toni, directly. So I felt like a stalker ever since last year at Laguna Seca, our final round, trying to figure out what you were doing. There was one time you were in Mexico City. Recently, you were over in Italy, and you were near Florence, and I thought, that's kind of near Aprilia. Is he talking to them? I was trying to figure out who in the vicinity you'd be talking to.
Can a guy go on vacation?
I don't, not in my mind. I keep thinking, you've got a lot of racing left in you. And I kept thinking, are you putting something together? Is something happening? Tell us about what's been going on with you in this situation with riding, and what your expectations are this weekend.
For me, I've been designing shoes and preparing shoe business with my sister, and we've been to Italy to Fun Factory, and everything went super good. And honestly, I didn't expect this phone call. No, last year we finished really good. The championship, it's been a disaster all season, but I said, okay, I have to finish in a good way, and we could finish it with that 3 podiums. After that, in my mind was only ride the Ducati, nothing else, and was only that option which I worked and fight and talked and put from my side all the facilities. I found a sponsor to finance myself. So that was not the problem. And in the last moment, another rider jumped inside in that project, no? So after that, it was gone. So I just tried to coach, to be more or less fit. Of course, I'm not in my best shape at this moment, but
You look a little heavy. I thought you up to like 118 maybe.
but I think I still remember, and I still more or less fit, but always I felt that curiosity because I feel the Yamahas and Ducatis has the connection, throttle, engine, rear wheel in a different way than the other bikes. And that was my weak point during the last 5 seasons with Suzuki. And I really want to feel this, And this is one of the reasons when Kyle called me was like, why not, no? He said, would you like to do this? I said, look, I didn't expect it at this moment, so let me think about, no? I just was changing the diapers of my my daughter, and
you're like, it can't be worse than this.
Okay, let's let me think a little bit. Less than half an hour, and let's do it. I want to feel this Ducati. I'm happy you call me, and let's do it. And no thinking, let's just jump on the pool.
Now, I heard stories that you rode a Ducati street bike here before. I don't know if it was last year or maybe the year before.
Yes,
and you went fast, yeah?
I ride the.
We actually
Ducati.
rode together.
Oh, you
during
did?
the Revs Day.
Yes.
On V4Ss.
Yeah, it was, and I after that day I told my dad, like, this is another level of for street bike. It's really powerful. It's really fast and has a good grip, and electronics are in another level, and then that's why with the stock bike, just the lap time was good, was really good, and he said, okay, this is the way I want, no? Then didn't happen, but it's happening now, no? No, I'm sorry for the situation, because it's his bike, and I know he would love to be here and ride his bike, no? But he has to fight right now for this Harley Championship and the Baggers Championship, and I'm super grateful for this opportunity. I just want to have fun, to feel the feeling of ride a race bike, not coaching or mini bikes. I mean, race bike, to push the bike to the limit is something I missed for 9 months, and tomorrow I will have that feeling again, and this thanks to Kyle.
And then you beat Jake on.
I did this before, jump in a new bike, in a new team. Especially, I remember one time here in Laguna Seca, it was 14, I think, with Pramac Ducati. And these situations are not easy, no? You jump on something you don't know. It's not your bike, it's not your setup. It's many things to do in a short time, but we'll try to make it simple, no? With his experience, my experience, we'll start with his bike exactly, and then we'll move forward to another ideas and try to make it simple to arrive the best condition for the first race and then for the second race, no? And the goal is have fun. Second goal is put my experience at his hands, and maybe this is a good help for the future, and then if we have a good result, will be amazing.
Well, that's what I want to ask. I mean, you're obviously going to have fun. We know that. Good result, quite possibly. And this is a question for both you guys. You know, is this just a one-off thing? I mean, what's going to happen after this weekend? Kyle's going to be back for our next round. So, no, I mean, I'm not trying to force the issue, but Tony, I'm not even talking about with Kyle. I mean, I'm just saying, you might be like, yeah, I really missed this. I really want to hear. I'm not
he
giving
made a
this
mistake. He made a mistake already. He said he had a sponsor that was going to pay his whole way. So I've been the wheels turning ever since he said that. But
Me too.
No, I mean, it's one foot in front of the other at
Right.
the moment. It's just, let's do this and see what happens. And I mean, there's a chance that I'm still not ready at Brainerd. So, obviously keep your schedule open, but I don't know. For me, it's trying to just get back on the bike, and it's just a really cool kind of deal to put together with a good rider, a good guy, and it's just fun for now.
You admittedly you have the Harley Davidson and the little bit of pressure that still remains with that, but did you kind of feel like, man, I can actually just, given the injury and everything, I can just relax and kind of have a little bit more fun than normal, or no?
It didn't feel any different,
No,
does it?
no, not at all. It's still, it's going to be stressful. I was talking to those guys too. I'm more worried about coming to a stop and like having the thing start to tip and not having the strength.
Just let it
like
go.
It'll take more strength to lift that thing from halfway leaned over at a stop than it will ride it. So like that's what I'm more worried about. But it's just, for me, it's a very unique perspective. Basically, going from rider to crew chief on the bike I'm riding. I'm kind of going to crew chief here with Toni, and just we're going to talk directly during the sessions because, and I don't think you'll ever have a more kind of, for him, from his perspective, as far as like, what about the bike characteristics that he's feeling. Like there's a really interesting dynamic that's going to happen where, I'm going to hear what he says about the bike that I have all of these kind of feelings about, and to really kind of take that into consideration and what it's going to take for me to get the bike better, because I have not been happy with, certain things about the bike this year that I'm really struggling with that we've talked a lot about, and we're going to kind of tackle it double pronged, and just kind of take a look at it.
There's a really small window that bike works well in. Am I right? Have you been in that? Have you been in that window at all?
With the front and the rear individually,
But never together.
never at the same time. At the same time, then that's when you see us closest to the front, So it's kind of one of those things. But the bike's really good. It's it's got a lot of the current parts, factory parts on it now. It's pretty close to the current World Superbike spec in a lot of ways. Not so much in others, but it's a good bike that has a lot of adjustment. We just got to kind of find that window, but it's very narrow for sure.
Toni, what is it about the Ducati for you? That at the end of last year, that's what you wanted to ride. What is it about that bike?
What I see on that bike, like what I like or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it about that motorcycle? It's a V4? Is it the torque? What?
Yeah, I think that is the torque, the way these kind of engines work internally is the V4 is what just for what you listen looks good, no?
Sure. No,
Yeah,
it makes
because
sense.
when you listen that, like, let's do the sound, no, like, boop, boop. And with that you can do a lot of you just go forward with that. That kind of noise, you go forward with that. Always if more or less the setup is in the right place, no? So that kind of connection throttle with the engine, and you put more easily this power on the ground is always been my obsession, no? And I've been looking the Yamahas for the last 4 years or 5 years, and that was our weak point. And then you could see them, no, like fighting with Cameron at the end of the race. They always had that extra, like you are there spinning and you won, but you can't, no? And that was breaking my balls a lot. But it's something I will have the opportunity to use this weekend. And if I have to choose one bike I ride in MotoGP and I really liked, was the Ducati. It's been maybe the most difficult bike to set up, but when we did it was amazing. It's the combination of a lot of power with this kind of engine, and if you have the opportunity to, if you found a way to put this power on the ground, stop this power on the right time, turn it and take profit of this power, is the best and the biggest weapon, no? And I have the experience from that. I don't think these bikes, even if past 12 years or 13 years, the ADN basically it's the same, no? And you see the way they build the engines,
right,
and kind of big.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you is, it's kind of like the trickle down idea of technology. Does this bike, it's derivative of what the MotoGP bike is or was a few years ago. So it's probably got a lot of the same characteristics. Wouldn't you say, Kyle? I mean, dealing with, yeah.
Okay. So after this podcast, you go down and you sit on the bike for the first time and you adjust certain things. I mean, you're both little shits. So like the weight's not big, right? The difference.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
it's not like if Sean was riding it after you might have to change.
No, it'll be the same setup. Are you kidding me? I'll ride Kyle's setup.
I think the most interesting thing for me is that, like, I know that in his mind he has an expectation of what he thinks the bike is going to feel like, based on riding with me over the last couple of years or watching the races this year and seeing how it appears to react. Is how that actually materializes once he rides it, based on what it looks or seems like it will be. Like that's probably the thing that I'm most curious about.
I have one last question and then I'm finished, but maybe finishing me when I ask this question. Obviously, the Ducati you thought you may have a chance to ride is being ridden by Loris Baz, I think.
Yes.
Would you like to beat him this weekend?
It's gonna be difficult. Like let's
but you're Toni.
If it's on the ground and let's work and let's see. They are many days testing and racing and then we'll try to put the Kyle experience, my experience. We already been working. We are not gonna start working tomorrow. We already been working from 1 week ago, no? And that's good. And I felt a good connection with Kyle. So I think we will have a lot of fun.
And also, if you could pick a place to do it, this would be the place you would choose, yeah? From AMA.
Yes, this one is a good track for me always, no?
Yeah, it's a good track for this bike.
Yeah.
It's
perfect.
It's one of the better.
I'm finished. You done?
Setup wise.
I do want to ask something that you guys have in common. It's the fact that you both are instructors of riding instructors. You've done a lot, Toni. You obviously do a ton, Kyle. Is it enjoyable to teach as much as it is to race, or can you compare the two at all? I mean, Toni, obviously you are going to continue coaching, and so are you. But it doesn't compare, or does it? Do you like to see a student do well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's not the same. Not even.
No.
It's cool when sometimes you get to teach, a rider who is in the professional, you get to kind of talk about some of those things that, are either mental things or things at the sharper end, but it's pretty different. Both rewarding though.
Mm-hmm.
It's grateful to coach. Doesn't matter the level, because low level you can see big improvements and you feel grateful for that. But always when fast, the guy you are coaching is fast. Sometimes I found someday like the guy is faster than me because he arrived with the good tires, good suspension, I'm there with this dog bike like spinning and everything, and fuck. This guy cannot beat me, no? And then that guy put you at 100%, 120% of your level, like, fuck, I'm gonna crash today, no? I'm trying to be in a good level, no? A decent level to keep coaching this guy. Yeah.
Toni, do you ride those Ovalis as well, right? The little bikes that we use in Mini Cup?
Sometimes, yes.
Do you, and Kyle, you have one as well. Do you guys both enjoy being on those bikes?
I haven't ridden.
Oh, okay, sorry. I know you have. So
I when I coach these guys, I do with my super motor, with the big one.
Okay.
I tried only one day. I lost the front, and with the legs like this, everything was stuck. I couldn't do anything. I had luck.
Just crashed.
The front wheel come back and said, "Thank God," no? Because there was nothing I could do.
Yeah, it's funny because Josh Heron rides them all the time, and I just figured it would be something. They have that bigger one now too, but I don't know.
I have
you have the bigger one,
GP,
right?
Yeah.
So GP1.
You have to try soon. Yeah.
It's GP2.
GP2,
Yeah,
right?
It's
That's right.
It's a bigger one. It feels good, but I haven't ridden it yet. So.
Yeah.
All right, we got to let them go. Figure
Okay.
out how to make the bike work. Tony,
I don't want
Get
to.
him
I don't want to
entered.
let him go.
get him entered. Get him a license.
Yeah. Maybe that.
I don't know if he's qualified. You good? You good
You
enough?
should be allowed to ride.
I hope you guys accept me.
Maybe we have to switch. He'll ride the bagger.
There you
That
go.
would be
Put him
fun.
on the Harley. That'd be interesting. Anyway, okay. Well, that's it for this week. We could have gone for longer, but these guys have some things to do. And we're at Laguna Seca again this week, WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. And we've got actually 7 classes of racing here. We've got our 5, plus we got baggers, and we got the hooligans race too. So there's going to be a lot of activity out there on the track, and we all love being here and racing. And good luck to you guys this weekend, and
for
enjoy
coming.
it on TV. And if you're here too, and please come out and see us. Thank you so much.